let's walk through step by step how to go from 25% body fat down to 10% body fat. Now, to give you a visual of what 25% body fat may look like, this is one of my coaching clients, Eric, who's near the end of a very lengthy muscle building phase, taking a nice, slow, and steady approach. He's weighing in at 173 pounds, and he just got a DEXA scan that showed him at 23% body fat. Here's a picture of me 13 years ago, the last time I was even remotely close to 25% body fat, and I weighed 178 pounds. So from here, we need to kind of run some calculations to determine our fat mass and our lean body mass and approximately what we're going to weigh when we're 10% body fat to give us a target to aim for and kind of break things down, not only from a long-term goal or outcome that we're aiming for, but to break it down to the weekly process-oriented goals that we're aiming for here. So what you're going to do, we'll use myself as an example here. We know I'm 25% body fat, weighing 178 pounds here. So 25% of my body is fat mass. So what I'm going to do is multiply 178 pounds by 0.25, and that gives me 44.5 pounds of fat on my body at that time. Now, to determine my lean mass at that time, I'm just going to take 178 pounds, subtract 44.5, the fat mass, and that's going to give me 133.5 pounds of lean mass. Lean mass is not just muscle, it's bone, other tissue, and all that kind of stuff there. Now, to determine where I'm going to be, what I'm going to weigh when I'm 10% body fat, I'm going to take that 133.5 pounds of lean mass and divide it by 0.9 when I'm aiming for 10% body fat. If you're aiming for 15% body fat, you multiply it by divide it by 0.85. So when I divide it by 0.9, aiming for 10% body fat, that puts me at 148 pounds, which is where I'm at right now, and right about 10% body fat, looking pretty damn good, looking pretty damn lean, not like crazy freaking shredded, but really got a good beach body where I'm thriving in all aspects of my life. So there's some good visuals of what 25% body fat looks like and what 10% body fat looks like. And what 10% body fat looks like when I'm relaxed compared to when I'm flexing is a big difference as well. So take those things into consideration. So that in the big picture, you see I've got to lose 30 pounds if I'm going to drop 15% body fat. I'm not looking to lose 15% of my body weight. What the general recommendation is when you're going through a fat loss process, you want to make sure that you're losing fat mass. You don't want to be losing muscle throughout this process. So in order to preserve your muscle mass, it's recommended that you lose about 1% of your total body weight per week, at least no more than 1% of your total body weight per week. What I like to do is aim for losing 1% of my total body weight at the end goal. So knowing I'm going to be 148 pounds at the end of this target here, I'm going to aim to lose about 1.5 pounds per week. So I can kind of tell if I'm losing 1.5 pounds per week, I got to lose 30 pounds. It's going to take me about 20 weeks to achieve this goal. Mind you, that first week, you're going to lose a little bit more. Maybe you lose 3 pounds that first week. So that's going to shorten it to just a 19-week fat loss phase. But 19 weeks is a long time. 20 weeks is a long time to be going through a fat loss journey here. There may be events that pop up. Maybe you have an off week or something like that. So it may take a little longer to achieve your goal, but somewhere in that ballpark of 20 weeks for me to lose that 30 pounds there. So if I want to lose 1.5 pounds per week, a general rule of thumb is if you want to lose 1 pound per week, you want to create a 500 calorie deficit per day. If you want to lose 2 pounds per week, you're going to create a 1,000 calorie deficit per day. I want to lose 1.5 pounds, so I'm going to create a 750 calorie deficit per day. So in order to determine that, first we need to know what your maintenance level calories are. I'll include a link down below in the description to the calculator on my website. You enter your age, height, weight, your activity level. That's going to give you your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure. So how many calories you consume on a daily basis just to maintain your weight. That is just an estimation, so just take that with a grain of salt. We never burn the same amount of calories each and every day. So what you want to do is, for myself personally, my goal of losing 1.5 pounds, I'm going to subtract 750 calories from my TDEE. That for me works out to be about 2,000 calories per day. Now, during a fat loss phase, for myself personally, at this stage in the game, having gone through multiple fat loss phases there, where I've had refeed days planned into the week because I knew every Friday night I was going out with the guys and I'd be eating a bit in excess. I had to eat less throughout the week to kind of make up for that difference there. That worked for me at that time, but I prefer to keep my calories consistent each and every day. So 2,000 calories consistent each and every day, just because it makes, first of all, measuring progress a lot easier. Second of all, most important, it allows me to sustain my energy throughout the week consistently. So back in the day when I was doing those refeeds on the Friday nights, those kind of cheat days, if you want to call them that, I would have to reduce my calories a lot throughout the week. And I found like towards the end of the week, I was just in the tank. My energy levels were so low. So I was like up and down with energy, mood, and just feeling, because again, eating too much on that Friday night, I feel crap like in my stomach and everything. So I just prefer to keep things level, but still at the same time, knowing that I'm not going to be like perfect 2,000 calories each and every day. If someone invites me out for dinner or something like that, maybe I will eat a little less throughout the day leading up to that, and I still may exceed that 2,000 calories. Maybe I end up consuming 2,200 calories. I know I can make up for it the next day or over the next 2 days. Maybe I can eat 1,800 calories the next day, boom, it's leveled out. Or 1,900 calories the next day, 1,900 calories the next day after that, boom, levels out. So I prefer to look at things on a weekly basis during a fat loss phase. So instead of really focusing on I have to consume 2,000 calories per day, you have a day where you go a little bit over there, like I screwed up, oh my God, I'm never gonna lose. I look at my calories on a weekly basis, so aiming for that 14,000 calories for the week, and knowing that if I have a day that's a bit higher, I can balance things out throughout the rest of the week. It's not the end of the world. I do recommend that you weigh yourself on a daily basis, just to track your progress, to plot it, detach emotion from the experience. You're going to see spikes up and down, but I really want you to monitor those trends rather than stepping on the scale once a week. You're like, crap, I didn't lose the 1.5 pounds this week. I got to make an adjustment to my diet here. Meanwhile, like, it may have just been that day where, like last night, you ate something that made you retain a little bit water in your digestive system. Maybe it's just taking a lot longer for it to work through your digestive system. So it's not necessarily you didn't lose fat this week. It's just there's other things that didn't cause you to completely empty out or whatever, and it's misleading you in that scale weight. But if you see like, oh man, I was trending down all week long, I just had a little spike today, everything's been good, I'm making good progress throughout the week, let's just keep things the same. You don't want to make adjustments just on a single weigh-in there. So detach emotion from that experience, monitor the data, and really pay attention to your body's feedback. So although 2,000 calories does work for me, like I'm pretty much spot on with the calculations, you want to use it, you got to use that as a starting point and just pay attention to your body's feedback. So if you're aiming for 1.5 pounds per week and after 3 weeks, you're realizing I'm just losing 1 pound per week, then you need to make an adjustment and eat a little less. Don't just go based on the calculations. You got to make those subtle adjustments, pay attention to how your body is responding. So you really got to have that heightened sense of awareness throughout this process. So when it comes to consuming that 2,000 calories, work within your own natural eating tendencies and trying to improve upon your own natural eating tendencies. So if you prefer to eat 3 meals per day, stick with that frequency. 4 meals, stick with that. Like whatever suits you best, the timing that suits you best, the foods and the meals that suit you best. But do so with a heightened sense of awareness to how satiating each meal is, how it sustains your energy over the next few hours leading up to the next meal, how it impacts your performance, your overall well-being throughout the day. The calorie target is what's most important, but having that awareness with how your macronutrients naturally fall. For myself personally, without trying to hit certain macro targets, I just naturally fall within the ballpark of 40% carbs, 30% fat, 30% protein there. Some days the protein's up a little bit higher and the fats are a little bit lower. Sometimes it's vice versa. Sometimes my carbs are up a little bit higher, but it's always within the ballpark naturally. I'm not trying to hit that. It's just with my natural eating tendencies, the foods I gravitate towards, and what I feel allows me to thrive and feel my best. So really, as long as you're in the ballpark of consuming somewhere within that 1 gram per pound body weight of protein and no less than 0.3 grams of fat per pound body weight as well. Make sure you don't get lower than that, just for hormone health and overall well-being. And then just let the carbs kind of fall where they may. But you may notice that in order to get your protein up around that 1 gram per pound body weight, you're noticing that your carbs are low, your fats are low. So don't stress over hitting that protein number. Get it in the ballpark. Try to get a balanced approach with your diet. And again, consuming the foods that allow you to feel your best, and make some adjustments if you need to incorporate some more veggies in there. some more whole, natural, nutrient-rich foods, pay attention to how that impacts your overall energy and everything as well. Trying to keep some structure in your day with your meals really helps as well. Most days I'll have a shake for breakfast, 1 cup of homemade kefir, 1 cup of unsweet vanilla cashew milk, an ounce load of spinach, a banana, a scoop of protein powder. My second meal is 4 free-range eggs from my friend's local farm, some mixed veggies in there. In the bowl, I have 2/3 cup of oats, 140 grams of some frozen mixed berries in there. And my third meal is Greek yogurt, usually 260 grams of that, along with 140 grams of some frozen mixed berries. And then dinner, I get some variety. I usually have fish like 3 days per week with either sweet potatoes, or rice. Some days I'll have some chicken, veggies in a starchy carb, potatoes, rice, or pork chops, some breaded pork cutlets, something like that. And again, the starchy carb is usually sweet potato, yellow potato, or rice for the most part when it comes to dinner. A lot of times I'll have some steamed asparagus or baked Brussels sprouts. Those are kind of my go-to veggies there. Sometimes I'll fry up some sliced peppers in there. Sometimes I'll go with the California blend, the Normandy blend of the broccoli, the cauliflower, the carrots, that kind of stuff as well. But trying to get some balanced meals. You'll notice I pretty much have, oftentimes I'll have a sliced pepper with that Greek yogurt as well. So I'm trying to get veggies with each and every meal. For me personally, 4 meals per day suits me best. It sustains my energy throughout the day, and that allows me to hit that 2,000 calorie target for the day. So when it comes to your activities, there's no set number of days you should be weight training. Work with your personal preferences, your lifestyle. Don't try to fit your lifestyle to your activities, your training plan or anything like that. You want to fit your training plan and your activities to your lifestyle. So if you can only work out 3 days per week, that's freaking awesome. Rock those 3 days per week. If you only have half an hour, go with that half hour. Don't feel like, oh my God, I can't get in like 60 minutes. I can't be in the gym 5 days per week. Why bother? Do what you can do. Make the most out of your current situation. And try to find a balance between the weight training. If you enjoy some cardiovascular activities, maybe you enjoy jogging, maybe you enjoy getting out on the bike, maybe you enjoy hitting the rowing machine or the stationary bike at the gym. Maybe you just enjoy fun activities. I love getting out on a paddleboard in the summer months, the warmer months here. Maybe it's just walking is your choice, whether it's outdoors or on an incline treadmill. Do activities that you enjoy that allow you to feel your best and allow you to thrive. That's really where it's at. So it's again, working with your lifestyle. There's no set diet or meal plan. There's no set workout program that you need to follow in order to achieve your goal. It's just doing the activities and eating the foods that allow you to feel your best and thrive while hitting your targets for the day, for the week, and continuing to progress from there. And be kind to yourself throughout this process. There's going to be some ups and downs, and learn from each experience. If you do happen to have a slip up, don't throw in the towel. Don't beat yourself up. Don't feel guilty about it. Learn from that experience and celebrate that fact that you just learned, so you know the next time you're faced with that similar challenge, you're armed with information and an approach that's going to help you improve upon it that next time around.